Welcome to Cruise Ports on a Budget, where I'll show you some of the things you can do in various cruise ports without spending a fortune. Welcome to Barcelona. Because Barcelona is such a huge city, there's so many places to go, so many things to see, it's impossible to do them all in one visit. So you really just have to pick an itinerary and hope that you can get to the best places. We've got something a little bit different planned today. Spending a bit of money going to Poble, Espanyol, which I'll explain later. But basically we'll just have a wander around Barcelona. Now the ships used to stop right at the centre of Barcelona, but now they stop about 2.5 miles away. So you can either get a shuttle bus into town or a taxi. About 2.5 miles, takes about 10 minutes on the bus. And obviously you have to be back in time to get the last shuttle. Although the ship's leaving at 6:30, the last shuttle, strangely, is at 5:30. I don't know whether you can make that out, but there's 5 different ships in today. So we've got off the ship as early as we possibly can to try and avoid the crowds, get a bit further into town before everybody arrives. This is the World Trade Center, which is where the shuttle buses stop. Let's make a start. We'll head up towards Las Ramblas, passing the Christopher Columbus monument on the way.
Immediately outside the World Trade Center is this beautiful building, which at first glance looks like a church, but is in fact the Barcelona Customs Office. Just round the corner from there we get our first glimpse of the Christopher Columbus monument. For €6 you can go up to the top of the monument, but you need to be brave, as they say that you can feel the monument swaying when you're at the top. And just around the back of the monument is the start of the famous La Rambla. First thing in the morning, La Rambla is unusually quiet, but later in the day it will become packed with people. As you walk up La Rambla, be sure to look to your left and to your right to find delights such as the Wax Museum. Also on the right hand side as you head up La Rambla is the delightful Placa Real, which is well worth a visit. A little further on, look out for Casa Bruno Corros, which apparently used to be an umbrella factory. Yeah. On the left hand side of La Rambla is the magnificent market, where if you're not careful you can spend half a day.
Yeah, it wasn't as modern as this one.
Be sure to look out for the world famous Iberico ham. Although if you're so inclined, there are much more gruesome things on offer. But I think most people, like me, would prefer a delicious cake instead. A few hundred yards further along La Rambla on the left hand side is this Catholic church, one of the few places in Barcelona which doesn't have an entry fee. As you exit the end of La Rambla, you come to Plaça de Catalunya, where it seems the thing to do is to feed the pigeons. Over in the background, past this monument, is a department store called El Corte Inglés. If you take the escalators inside up to the top floor, there's a cafeteria with panoramic windows giving an absolutely splendid view over Barcelona. From Plaça de Catalunya, we're going to head towards Sagrada Familia, the famous Gaudi church, which is a good couple of miles away. But there's plenty to see on the way. This is Barcelona Cathedral. We didn't have time to go in, but if you want to go inside, the entry in 2024 was 16 euros per person. A few hundred yards from the cathedral is the wonderful Palau de la Música Catalana, which is well worth a visit if you have the time. Entry cost in 2024 was 18 euros. We're heading now for a lovely pedestrianised area which has Barcelona's very own Arc de Triomphe. Heading north now along a lovely pedestrianised area called Calle de Ribes. Which leads out to La Monumental, a former ball ring now used for rock concerts. And finally, after a couple of miles walking, we get our first glimpse of Sagrada Familia. From Sagrada Familia, we took the metro to Espanyol, taking first the purple line to Universitat and then the red line onto Espanyol. As you come out of the metro at Espanyol, you'll see this beautiful former ball ring, and not too far down the road the Venetian towers. From Espanyol, it's about a 3/4 of a mile walk to Poble, Espanyol. On the way there are some delightful old houses. And some pretty steep steps. One of the delights of wandering off the beaten track is that you often come across the unexpected. And so we come to the entrance to Poble Espanyol. Poble Espanyol is an open-air museum housing buildings taken from all over Spain, so you can effectively see all of the architecture of the various regions of Spain in one place. Entrance to the museum in 2024 was €15 per person. Let's just have a wander around.
Well, that's one of many possible walks around Barcelona. Quite tiring walking around the city. It was about 5 miles walking to Sagrada Familia, although you could get the metro there. From Sagrada Familia we took the metro across to España and then walked down to this village at Poble Espanyol. And that's quite well worth doing. It gives you a taste of Spain. All the buildings here have actually been rebuilt from other buildings around the country. From here we're just going to go back to España and take the train. No, sorry. From here we're going to go back to España and take the metro down to Las Ramblas, and then it's a short walk back to where the shuttle will pick us up and take us back to the ship. As I say, that's just a brief taste because there's so many things you could do in Barcelona and it's impossible to actually show them all. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you picked up a few tips there.
So it was back to the metro at España to take the Green Line 3 stops to Drassañas, which is right next to La Rambla. And from there, just a short stroll back to the World Trade Center and the shuttle bus. A direct comparison is difficult since there are no shore excursions which go to Poble Espanyol. But for an excursion that visits 1 or 2 attractions, you could expect to pay around £150 for 2 people. We spent €30 for Poble Espanyol and €10.60 on the metro. Barcelona is an expensive city, and if you want to go into the cathedral, museums and various other places, you can easily spend up to €100 each in the day. But there's plenty to see in Barcelona for just the price of a coffee when you get tired from all the walking. Check out my other videos for more advice on how you can spend as little as possible in various cruise ports.